You're live. Oh, I have the camera the wrong way. Here we go.
That's better.
Yeah. Hey everyone, it's Jeff with 777, and this is Henry Brownell, and he's from Out of the Box Innovations. We're gonna show you guys some really cool frames. So he came down to my office today, and we're just having a bit of a meeting. And as you guys know, I like to go really, really fast with my FPV quadcopters, and we might be designing something, a black box innovation, something like that. So, so we're gonna show you guys a couple of frames that he has going on. So you can check out his YouTube channel, Out of the Box Innovations, as well. So let's. So what do you have for us today?
Well, we got a couple of frames we're working on. The VLX 230 and the VLX 230C, which is basically the Conex version. So one of the first vertical limb frames on the market.
Okay, so what he means by vertical limb, guys, is the arms of the quadcopter are basically set in a vertical orientation. So basically, as your prop is spinning, you're getting the least amount of cross section of the arm. But normally, your arms are in this type of a thickness. So really pretty cool. So let's see, which one is this one?
This is the VLX-C. This is the Conex version. So you can see that real profile on that thing when you're hitting 90 is like darn near zero.
That's right.
So this has actually got the Conex version. So the Conex, the Pro Sight receiver actually slips right in between here, so inches is right between here, and then you got your camera sits on top, and then the antenna is down low enough so it doesn't feel like your antenna is like really exposed up high, so you're not going to catch it a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but this thing to me just feels like a Formula One racer.
Yeah,
on that profile. So
it's pretty cool, man. So in a moment, guys, we're going to show you a quick video of the strength of these frames. He's done a lot of testing, and I actually met you for the first time out in the garage races out in Yorba Linda. So we did some flying out there together. Unfortunately, that location is no longer viable. So
I was bummed about that, man. That was a fun place to fly.
Very, very cool. So can I zoom in? Hang on a second. I'm going to zoom in on this video. It's going to be funny. We're going to be watching a video, but we're just going to play this video real quick, and then we'll get to talking about the frames in just a moment. So
just to kind of front you guys a little bit, this is also part of the testing that we did because we were concerned about things like the structural integrity of the arms and whether or not they could actually handle a good fall or a good impact.
Yeah.
So that's exactly why we did this test.
All right, cool. Let me. You want to go ahead and start that up?
Sure.
A YouTube video of YouTube videos. I love this.
Yeah. You gotta hear that audio.
Yeah. We'll turn it way up so you guys can hear it.
Go for it. Blah.
Small angle.
I'm sorry. This is gonna put it to rest.
Hello from the Czech Republic. Hey guys, what you guys have to watch this one. This is the good one here. Oh, that's gotta hurt.
That.
And that hit the concrete, you guys.
Swear. That was about 20 feet up. Okay, that's it.
All right. So guys, what do you guys think about that? It's pretty sweet. Let's take a look here. So, hey Tyler.
What's up?
Hey Tone. Two monsters, Chris and Euler. Crash test dummies. That's exactly right. That's Lauren. Lauren, you're from the United States, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Lauren that is from the
What's up, Jake?
From Australia, I believe. So yeah. Hey Jake. So guys.
Maryland. Hey, I've been there.
Maryland. Oh, Maryland, that's right. So this is what we're looking at right now, guys. Henry, he's a local builder, so he's into the frame market right now. And actually, he was out at Flight Fest West as well. So when we were out there, we're like, hey, we really need to get together and talk about these frames. So one of the things we're talking about today is maximizing this for a 5-inch blade, and for shaving off every gram wherever we can to get me. Basically, my goal is to get to over 120 miles an hour on 4S, because that tends to be the battery that people like to race the most, and that's what's kind of within everyone's grasp. So I want you guys to see that these arms are keyed in and locked into the frame, and if you take these arms and bend them back and forth, you cannot make them flex. The amount of flex you get is about the same as you would a normal frame and a normal arm. So that's one of the biggest concerns that I would have if you turn the frame on its end. So can you talk about the challenges you went through to basically prevent some of the flexing and whatnot?
Sure. This is a lot of redesign work. This is a lot of testing and just going through redesigning, trying different arms. We tried thickening the arms. We started with 3mm, and when we started going to a little bit thinner arm like this, we found that we started getting some weird vibrations that were happening, some oscillations.
Right.
And so we immediately went back to the 4mm, took all that away.
Yeah.
And after that, it was just a question of just crash testing and finding out, how thin can we really make this thing. And we were surprised at how thin the profiles are on those things. I mean,
right.
I started likening it to the thin limbs that guys are doing now for the standard flat quads or the unibodies.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So they just run them really super thin, but they're still strong.
Right, exactly.
I just took the strength and went this way.
Right.
So the one other thing I did notice is that this thing has a little bit, at least in my opinion, and I'm not the greatest pilot, so I'm fronting that up there, guys, so please feel free to
I'm
test
not the
this
best
on your
pilot
own.
either, trust me.
But because the strength of this is in the vertical, right, it's actually a little bit more responsive, just in the fact that there's no flex.
Right, exactly.
From the motors punching.
And another unique thing you were talking about in just a second ago, but one of the comments was, hey, that's a big antenna. This is the Conex antenna, so if you guys don't know about that, you have to have kind of a larger antenna. But one thing Henry was talking about is that when you are flying forward basically in this type of an orientation, when you're going really fast, that the arms end up becoming a little bit of an airfoil almost. So what were the challenges around that? Do you think it helps? Do you think it could throw your tuning off? What do you think about that?
The only thing I have noticed in there, it maybe, again, it's just the way I'm flying, but I've also been able to do, like, say, 5 or 6 more laps as opposed to just 4 laps on this thing. And I think it has to do, in part, with the fact that this actually acts more like an elevator, lifting.
Right, because you're never going to go 90 degrees. It's always going to be slightly tilted, so that's actually giving you an up elevator type of reaction.
Versus trying where it's all flat, where you're actually pushing the quad down. So this becomes actually a little bit more of an aerodynamic 5.8 analog. Yeah, exactly.
Analog.
Yeah, just so you guys can see.
Jake, we're reading your comment in real time here. You have way less drag in your forward momentum.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right, Ben. Hey, Ben, what's up, dude?
So that's the biggest. That was one of the one thing that I kind of noticed. I've had other people kind of tell me that they've had the same experience when they were flying their version of the VLX. Because I've also had a lot more people than just myself flying this thing. That's right.
So guys, this is the quad I was flying this morning, and basically what I want to do is we're making a custom frame, kind of a one-off to make it as light and fast as possible. So I'm basically going to take all the electronics off of this. This has the Fly Color 30 amp stack in here, and the F3 board, and of course the Emax, the 2700 kV, the 2306, as I can never remember that number. But I'm basically going to take this, which is a fast setup as well, but it's very, very heavy. And you guys can see the thickness of these arms as it's coming through the air, and also just the fact that this is kind of like, this is more of an acro frame. It's got this giant cage on it. So you can imagine how much more efficient that this is going to be as opposed to something like this. So I'm really, really excited. I'm super happy that he's like, hey, let's get together and check out these frames. So no, it's really interesting to work with the designer himself and work at ways to tweak the frame. So it's pretty sweet,
So no, it's just it's been a lot of fun. It was really interesting is that the early designs didn't have some of the limb designs were not quite as refined.
Right.
And I was actually almost ready to release it when a friend of mine actually said, "Hey, let's do a speed test on this thing and let's build this thing up for a TV show or for this thing that was coming up." And I'm like, cool, build it up, have fun with it. And then when they reported back to me, it's like, hey, after a couple of crashes, those limbs started coming kind of loose and we started having some issues with that. I said, oh, okay, so I didn't, we stopped, back to the drawing board, we redesigned it. And since then, this thing has been crashed multiple times over a lot of different things. And as I just found out yesterday, my old red bottoms finally gave way. I lost a motor before I lost a limb, so I was very happy with that.
Very, very cool. And we were talking design earlier about there's a couple different designs that have these vertically oriented arms, and there's some positives and negatives to all these. one thing that's really cool that I like about this one is that they're individual arms. So some of them are a cross design. So if you break one arm, you're going to have to take the entire thing apart and replace, 2 motors, 2 SCAs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of good going on here. I mean, I'm going to test it. I'm going to be as honest as I can. I'm going to be as brutal as I can. I mean, Henry's, he's going to go put through the ring. You guys know I don't ever ream anybody for, bad design, but I can visually looking at the frame, I can see it's quite an awesome design. So I just thought we would bring that to you guys today. So let's just take a look back through you guys' comments so we can just respond to anybody that's on here. You'll have to look lovingly into our eyes here. Hello from Germany.
You can crash it. Absolutely, you can crash it. I've crashed it many times.
Let's see, Ben Harbor. He's a local guy, guys. He's a big designer on flight tests. And he's flying all these really cool jets right now. Vertically oriented arms are more structurally efficient. Letting them be lighter, less mass in the airframe means it doesn't impact crashes as hard. Less momentum, more durable. Equals more durable. Agreed all the way around, Ben.
Thanks,
Mark M.
Thanks, Ben.
Awesome frame. And make sure you mention your website.
Oh yeah, outoftheboxinnovations.com is the website. I've
Yeah.
actually got the frames up for sale right now if you're interested.
Show me the quad again. I just arrived. All right.
Okay.
So guys, this is the Conex version of it here. This is the vertically oriented arm. So basically, when you're thrusting down with your airflow from your prop, it's just cutting through the air much nicer. Nice low profile stack there. Now in the version that I'm going to be working on with Henry, we're actually going to remove this whole top end here to just shave off every single gram possible. So I'm going to have an exposed camera, and I might vacuum form a hood on the top of it. And here is the fully built up version.
Yeah, this is what I consider like the standard version. So somebody using a 5.8 VTX, you could do that. I run the VTX is back here. I got the receiver up on top of the pod.
So can you see that
How does
question?
the motor? Okay, so
You
that was actually quite a bit of
close.
engineering. That's actually the pod right there. So there's actually a capture plate. And that was specifically engineered. That was, again, a lot of design, redesigning, because I had, sandwiched the motors with the top and bottom plate, but I just felt it was too heavy. So I would just nix that idea as I led it back to the drawing board. But then I also had to incorporate it into how I was going to attach it to the limb. Mm-hmm. So just lots of different variations.
Yeah.
So this is what we got now.
Really, there's I think there's so much like here. I mean, now one of the design portions of this is that when you have arms that are going to be like this, it's going to weigh a little bit more than, let's say, like my MRM Reaper, which is just super simple and basic.
Right.
But the aerodynamics is going to maximize the flow of the props and the efficiency of the motors. Your ESCs might not get as hot. So like Henry was saying, instead of getting 4 laps in, you might get 5 to 6 or something like that. So it's really cool, dude. Thank you for coming and showing me the frames. You guys can look forward to seeing this on my channel. I'll be probably doing a build-up video at some point. Testing, of course. When you're going to be doing testing for speed, of course, you're not going to be having any HD cameras on there, so I'll most likely have some DVR footage. Let's see, weight of the frame with all the screws and bolts. Now, these are the production versions right here, but like I said, there's going to be probably a 5-inch version at some point, maybe in the future. So I won't hold Henry to that. So
5-inch,
or a 5, maybe like a closer to like a 210 size version.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's just a question of the arm. The reason why that's 230 now is because it'll fly a 5 or 6 inch limb or a 5 or 6 inch prop. Mm-hmm. So if you want specifically a 5-inch version, let me know, and if I get enough people requesting it, I'll make a 5-inch version.
Yep, most definitely.
So that's not.
I'm holding my hand up right here. So, so yeah, guys. So everyone, thank you for joining me this morning or this afternoon, actually, for this quick live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out Henry's website, outoftheboxinnovations.com. All right, so we will talk to you guys later. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Yep.
Right. Sweet.
Thanks, man.
Bye. Bye, guys. Let me just look really quickly before we go. Thanks, Jeff and Henry. I wanted to look back through the comments real quick to make sure we didn't miss anybody's comments here.
By the way, there's also Instagram and on Facebook as well. Just
yes. We got to hit all the social media portions here. How does that connect? Let's see. Great to see you again on the live, by the way. Thank you, Mr. Fonelli. Where are you from, Mr. Fonelli? Let's see. Looking forward to see how she performs. Awesome frame, Mark M. Mark M, he always comments on my stuff. Mark M, how does that FX79 come along? That's what I want to know. Hello from Germany. Souls. I can't pronounce the rest of it. And Vortex is here. Vortex, he has a huge channel out there, and he is a quad guy, and yes, I bet you he could crash it in 30 seconds as well.
That's why you get longer.
Yep,
Exactly,
Ben
exactly.
Harbor, thank you, of course. All right, so lose the Conex. Well, the thing is, there's Jake was saying lose the Conex, but there is a definite market for Conex frames and Conex frames that will protect the Conex receiver or the transmitter because they're very fragile.
Yeah.
So if you've got something that is protecting your Conex, that's going to be a positive always.
Lauren, exactly.
Finally, someone uses engineering and frame design. Woohoo! All right, guys. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks again for joining us, Henry. Awesome as always, and I will see you in the future. And these guys will get to see the progression of this frame. Hopefully, we go over a 120 with 4S. That's my goal. And we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, guys.